The child talks back. You correct them with a sharp tone. And in that exact moment, developmental research shows you just modeled the very disrespect you're trying to stop. This isn't about your intentions. It's about mirror neurons, the hidden mechanism where your correction becomes their template, where your reaction teaches louder than your words ever could. Halley. In the next few minutes, we'll expose the #1 mistake that turns parents into accidental coaches of disrespect, show you the brain science behind it, and give you a simple framework to model true respect. Transforming behavior not through control, but through connection. Picture this. It's been a long day. You've just asked your child to put away their toys. Simple request. Instead of doing it, they huff. They mutter under their breath. Why do I always have to do everything? You feel your chest tighten. You hear that tone, that attitude. And before you know it, your voice sharpens. Listen, that's not how you talk to me. This response is instinctive. You're not trying to be harsh. You're trying to teach respect. You're trying to show them that speaking to a parent that way isn't acceptable. But here's the thing. In that exact moment, they're learning that disrespectful tone from you. The common assumption is that disrespect starts with the child, that it's a behavior problem, a discipline issue, something that needs to be corrected with consequences or stricter boundaries. But developmental research tells a different story. It often starts with the emotional model we, as adults, provide in moments of conflict. When you respond to disrespect with a disrespectful tone, you're not teaching the lesson you think you're teaching. Teaching them that when someone bothers you, you raise your voice. You use that cutting edge in your words. You make them feel small. And then we wonder why they do the same thing back to us. This isn't about blame. It's about understanding a powerful mechanism that operates below our conscious awareness. Once you see it, everything changes. So here's the pattern that developmental psychologists observe repeatedly in parent-child dynamics. The #1 mistake that teaches children to be disrespectful is demanding respect instead of demonstrating it. Now, this might sound counterintuitive. After all, children should respect their parents. Authority matters. Boundaries matter. That's all true. But here's the distinction that changes everything. Respect cannot be commanded into existence. Neuroscience research on what are called mirror neurons shows us exactly why. When you demand respect through a harsh tone, through escalation, through a show of power, your child's brain isn't processing the lesson you intend to teach. Instead, they're learning about power dynamics. They're learning that whoever has more control gets to be disrespectful. They're learning that respect means fear, not genuine regard. And here's the critical part. Their brains are wired to mirror what they see, not just what they hear. You stay calm while setting limits, they internalize calm assertiveness. If you raise your voice when you're frustrated, they learn that volume equals power. If you use sarcasm to express disappointment, they adopt sarcasm as their own conflict language. The pattern is almost automatic. So, how do we break this cycle? How do we respond in a way that actually teaches respect? It starts with a 4-step framework designed to turn conflict into connection. First, regulate your own emotions. Before you say a word, take a deep breath. Notice that tightness in your chest. This simple pause stops you from reacting instinctively and allows you to respond intentionally. You can't model calm if you aren't calm yourself. Second, validate their feeling, not their behavior. Say something like, "I can hear you're frustrated right now," or "It sounds like you're feeling overwhelmed." This doesn't mean you agree with their sassy tone. It just shows them that you see their underlying emotion. This simple act of validation instantly de-escalates the situation because they feel heard. Third, state your boundary clearly and calmly. After validating, you can say, "And it's not okay to speak to me that way." We need to be respectful in this family, even when we're upset. Notice the tone here. It's firm, but it's not harsh. It's a statement of fact, not an attack. And fourth, reconnect and problem solve later. Once everyone is calm, you can circle back. You could say, "Hey, let's talk about what happened earlier. I know you were feeling tired. Woo. When you need a break, you can tell me with respectful words, and we can figure it out together." This teaches them a new, more effective way to communicate their feelings next time. This isn't a quick fix. It's a practice. But every time you choose this path, you're not just stopping a disrespectful moment. You're actively building a respectful relationship. You're teaching your child, through your actions, that respect is about hearing each other even during disagreements. You're moving from a relationship based on control to one based on deep mutual connection. Thank you for watching. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing for more insights into conscious parenting. Feel like you're having the same argument with your child over and over again. You try to teach them respect, but all you get back is a sarcastic tone or an eye roll. It's frustrating, right? What if I told you there's an invisible force at play, a secret mechanism in their brain that's shaping every single one of these interactions? It's not about what you're saying, but how you're saying it. And understanding this one thing can completely transform your relationship with your child. Deep inside your child's brain are specialized cells called mirror neurons. Think of them as tiny social sponges. When your child sees you, these neurons don't just register your words. They absorb your entire emotional state, your tone of voice, the tension in your face, the way you hold your shoulders, it all gets downloaded. Developmental research is crystal clear on this. This emotional patterning becomes their internal blueprint. Your way of managing emotions becomes their way of managing emotions. So, here's the kicker. Even when you're trying to teach a valuable lesson about manners or boundaries, deliver it with the very same disrespect you're trying to correct, guess what gets encoded? That disrespect from your child's point of view. The logic is simple. If mom or dad gets to use a sharp tone when they're upset, why can't I? When you dismiss their frustration while demanding they respect yours, the lesson they learn isn't about principle. It's about power. They learn that whoever holds the power gets to decide who deserves respect. Now, listen carefully, because this is important. This is not happening because you're a bad parent. Far from it. You're doing this because you care so deeply about raising a good, respectful human being. The real challenge is that this whole process of emotional modeling happens subconsciously, flying completely under our radar. But the good news is, once you see it, you can't unsee it. And once you understand it, you can start to change it. Let me show you what this looks like in a real-life scenario. Research teams have studied thousands of parent-child interactions. Then, they see the same patterns again and again. Here's a classic example. It's 7:45 a.m. The morning rush is on. A parent asks their 10-year-old to get ready for school. The child replies, "I am getting ready." The parent, already stressed, shoots back, "No, you're not. You're still in your pajamas." The child then snaps, "God, why are you always on my case?" The parent, now at their wits' end, says something like, "How many times do I have to tell you?" You know that tone, right? That exasperated edge that says, "I am so done with you." When parents in these studies actually watched recordings of themselves, the light bulb went on. They saw it. The child's sarcasm, their exasperation, that dismissive tone, it was an echo. It was the parent's own tone from earlier conversations, reflected right back at them. Not word for word, but pattern for pattern. And seeing this, understanding this, is where the breakthrough begins. You realize the behavior you want to change in your child might actually start with a small change in yourself. It's a powerful realization that shifts you from a place of conflict to a place of connection. So what's the first step to breaking this cycle? It starts with mindful awareness. The next time you feel that familiar frustration bubbling up, just pause. Take one deep breath before you respond. This tiny gap is your moment of power. It's where you choose a different response. Instead, if meeting their tone with an equally sharp one, try curiosity. You could say something like, "Hey, I hear you're feeling rushed. What's the plan for getting ready?" Yuri's still setting the boundary. They need to get ready, but Yuri doing it from a place of calm connection. Not conflict. Z. This isn't about being a perfect parent. It's about being a conscious one. By modeling the emotional regulation you want to see, you're not just telling them how to be respectful. You're showing them, you're giving them a new, healthier template. It takes practice, but every time you choose a calm response, you're rewiring their brain and strengthening your bond. You're moving from a power struggle to a partnership. And that is how you raise truly respectful, emotionally intelligent kids. If this resonated with you, hit that subscribe button. We're going to be diving deeper into practical strategies just like this to help you build a stronger, more peaceful family dynamic. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. 2. Ever feel like you're stuck in a power struggle with your kid? You demand respect, they push back even harder, and suddenly your home feels more like a battlefield than a sanctuary. What if I told you the secret to getting respect isn't about demanding it at all? It's about modeling it. Once parents shift from trying to control behavior to modeling the respect they want to see, the entire dynamic changes. Not immediately, not perfectly, but steadily. Because when you, the emotional model, change, your child's internal template changes too. The tone in your home softens because its source softened. So, how do you actually model respect, especially when your child is testing every single boundary you've ever set? Worked. Let's break down the framework the research on emotional regulation and secure attachment supports, step by step. Step 1. Pause before you react. I mean it. Take one deep breath before you say a single word. This simple pause interrupts your automatic, knee-jerk reaction. Neuroscience research shows it takes about 6 seconds for your prefrontal cortex, the logical reasoning part of your brain, to catch up with your amygdala, which is your emotional alarm system. That one breath buys you those crucial seconds. You don't have to respond instantly. Give yourself a moment to choose a thoughtful response instead of defaulting to a frustrated reaction. Step 2. Name the emotion, not the behavior. So instead of shouting, "Stop being so rude," try something like, "I can see you're really frustrated right now, but talking to me in that tone isn't okay." Or, "You sound very angry, and I do want to hear what you have to say, but I need you to use different words." Here's why this is a game changer. When you acknowledge what they're feeling while setting a clear boundary around how they express it, you're teaching emotional literacy. The message becomes, your feelings are valid, but your actions have limits. This is the very foundation of emotional intelligence, and studies show it significantly reduces conflict escalation. Step 3. Show the respect you want to see. Use a steady voice. Maintain gentle eye contact. Stay calm but firm. Now, this doesn't mean being a pushover. It means being strong without being harsh. You can absolutely say no. You can hold a boundary. You can follow through with a consequence. But you do it with dignity for both of you. Developmental studies consistently show that children model our style of authority, not just the authority itself. They copy how we handle power. Step 4. And this might be the most important one. Repair moments after they happen. Because let's be real, you're human. you will lose your cool sometimes. Emotional regulation isn't about perfection. It's about what you do after the storm. Go back to your child later and say, "Hey, I raised my voice earlier, and that wasn't okay." Or, "Feeling frustrated, but that's not how I want to talk to you." Research on secure attachment shows that repair is often more powerful than prevention. It models accountability. It shows them that respect isn't just about avoiding mistakes, but about owning them. These 4 steps: pause, name the emotion, model respect, and repair build something absolutely essential: emotional safety. Emotional safety is the foundation of genuine earned respect. When kids feel safe with you, they stop fighting for power. They stop resisting and start responding, not from a place of fear, but from a place of trust. Now, you might be thinking, but if I don't demand respect, won't my child just walk all over me? Roan, they think there are no consequences for disrespect. This is a super common concern, and it comes from a misconception about what modeling respect really means. It's not permissive parenting. It's authoritative parenting. You are still the leader, the one setting the rules. The difference is you're leading with connection, not control. You're teaching them that respect is a two-way street, and you're willing to walk it first. Try it, and watch the climate in your home begin to shift. Thanks for watching, and if this helped, consider subscribing for more. Let's talk about a big parenting myth, that modeling respect for your kids means you have to be a pushover. That it means getting rid of boundaries, avoiding consequences, or letting them run the show. That's not it at all. Modeling respect simply means you hold your firm limits, but you do it without taking away your dignity, or theirs. You absolutely can, and should, still implement consequences. You can still say, "You chose not to listen, so screen time is done for today. We'll try again tomorrow." You are still the authority in your home. The big difference is the delivery. The boundary itself doesn't change, but how you communicate it does. And here's why that distinction is so critical. When children feel genuinely respected, even during correction, they stop fighting you for power. They no longer feel the need to prove themselves through constant resistance and backtalk. Think about it. We've all seen it. The more you demand, the more they dig in their heels. But when they feel seen and heard, their defensiveness just melts away. This isn't just a nice idea. It's backed by solid research. Decades of studies on parenting styles have shown that authoritative approach, the combination of high warmth and high structure, produce significantly better long-term outcomes for kids. We're talking better mental health, higher self-esteem, and more success in school. This is in stark contrast to authoritarian approaches, which are all about high control and low warmth. Poor day. Why? Because respect that's built on fear is fragile. It evaporates the second you're not in the room watching them. But respect that's built on a real connection, that gets internalized. It becomes a part of who they are. It becomes their internal compass, guiding their choices, not just their compliance to your rules. And that's the kind of deep, lasting respect that sticks with them long after they've left home. So, let's bring this full circle. What's the #1 mistake parents make that accidentally teaches children to be disrespectful? It's demanding respect instead of demonstrating it. When you actively model patience, when you show them how to regulate your own emotions, when you maintain a calm authority, especially in the middle of a conflict, you're teaching them a profound lesson. You're showing them that respect isn't based on who has the most power. It's based on principles like kindness, empathy, and self-control. Now, if you're listening to this and recognizing some of your own patterns, please don't see that as a failure. See it for what it is, awareness. And awareness is the first step to change. Every single parent on this planet has snapped. Every parent has raised their voice or responded in a way they later regretted. I know I have. The real question isn't whether you've made a mistake. The question is, what do you do next? Your child doesn't need a perfect parent. They don't exist. What they need is a consistent one. They need a parent who is trying. And the truly powerful thing about this kind of emotional modeling is that it works at any age. It doesn't matter if your child is 3 or 13. Your very next interaction with them is a brand new opportunity to model something different, something better. You can start right now. Now, I want to give you a heads up about what often happens when you first start making this shift and staying calm when they're re-escalating. Your child might actually melt down more at first. It sounds counterintuitive, but they're testing you. They're checking to see if this new calm pattern is real and if it's going to stick. So when that inevitable tantrum hits, they re-screaming over getting the wrong color cup or a toy that just broke. There's a simple and effective Korean method that can help de-escalate the situation in about 60 seconds. It works not by trying to fix the problem for them, but by doing something completely unexpected and counterintuitive that connects with their emotional brain. It's a game changer for those high-stress moments. I've broken down the entire technique step by step in this video right here. I highly recommend you watch it next, because let's be honest, your next meltdown is probably just around the corner. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.